Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Podcast slash audio show or audio cast here on YouTube for Wrestling Logic, and all the way up through beginning of April of 1983. Eventful show here just because there's some things that are non-typical, including but not limited to the midgets beginning the program, and we see some Von Erichs. We see several superstars endorsing Iceman King Parsons and some other stuff. But Little Coco and Billy the Kid do battle to open the program. I believe Billy the Kid had another name when we last saw him. I'd have to go back and check it, but I remember that cowboy hat, and he was not called Billy the Kid at the time. Obviously, just some comedy spots. The brawl around Coco, one of your more pronounced and well-known midgets, Billy the Kid, doing the Texas thing. They do the drop down and square off. Obviously, can't imagine, well, maybe the kids are on Easter break or something, beginning of April. Maybe that's why they brought them in, but seems like they're brought in once or twice a year here in world class, and will be interesting as we go back through other territories if that's the case, or if it's not as open as it's talked about. They do a test of strength. Billy the Kid has his own ideas of how successful he is, so he uses some headlocks. Drop toe hold dub by Coco gets things going in a very divided and vibrant way. Coco pulls the Kid off the ropes and is very determined to gain a victory, to say the very least. And so he stomps around. The referee does have, some difficulty, as does the footage, as there's a good bit there of kind of the back and forth, and Coco does get the victory with the modified Coco butt type maneuver, and this does not please Billy the Kid. We move into another squash match, this time Mike Reed against Killer Carl Krupp. Krupp, known for his time in the various southeastern area promotions. Krupp, I guess you'd say German sympathizer, and lots of punch kick, lots of real basic stuff. Here to be a heel and nothing more than that. In 1983, the people ate it up, as well they should, or maybe not should, but as well they often want to. The use of just a big boot in the corner in Krupp's case is enough to get things going back his way, and he uses a lot of stomps, kicks, and doesn't waste a lot of motion in there. He finally does hit a kick to the midsection and looks for a way to finish things off. It's a big stomp, and again, Reed is not the most, I guess you'd say, responsive, and gets pinned after one of those kicks. And then we see the Freebirds comment that the fans don't treat them well. Maybe they need to go home. Maybe they need to disappear, whatever the case may be. They're tired of being treated unwell. They're tired of not being respected as the greatness that they are. Buddy Roberts and David Von Erich up next. And then we see a bunch of people talking about Iceman King Parsons. We'll get to why in a minute. But Buddy and David have a good go for the next several minutes. And, more on the basic side. Lots of stalling by Roberts. Roberts, known as being the heat of the Freebirds to most people, and he lives up to that here. Arm bars are all that's needed from David during the first couple of minutes. Then he works him around the ring a bit, works him into the corner. David, though, always returning back to a hold. taught very, very well in that regard. And not to be outdone, a neck crank from Buddy Roberts. Try saying that 3 times fast in the middle of the night. But anyway, David, not to be outdone, does fight his way free and then falls prey to it again. Roberts, though, tries to sneak a choke in wherever he can. Von Erich ducks the head too soon, manages to get himself kicked, and then hits a high knee, goes for the cover, and gets the victory, does David Von Erich. Superstars, all the baby faces, the Von Erichs and Al Madrill and various other people, put over Iceman King Parsons as the future of the business. Bundy says he still wants that kendo stick match, still wants to team with Kabuki and bring back the glory days, so to speak. Then we do go into Great Kabuki versus Iceman King Parsons. As weird as this match sounds, it does work. Of course, Kabuki has been out of action for several weeks, if not months, and some ring rust there perhaps, but Kabuki does everything he possibly can to give the kid a good match. Always going back to the head, always going back to holds when he gets lost out there, and it's clear to see that Parsons may not be ready for the push he's getting, but at the same time he works it, and Kabuki still back with the green face paint and the complete coverage and the nerve holds and the kicks and all that. So Kabuki has not changed in his time away. Again, a guy that wonder why he didn't get more of an on-top program consistently to eradicate the Von Erichs. Well, maybe that'll come at a later point. When all else fails, grab an arm, grab a head, grab a hold, and go with it. And it's clear that Parsons has learned this message well. They are well into the match when he starts to measure shots, and Kabuki's stumbling back. Then we see Kabuki head to the top rope and hit a sledgehammer, but this does not affect Parsons. And Parsons just stands and looks at him, almost daring him to come on and such. And amazingly, out of nowhere, we see a victory for Iceman King Parsons. Fans post-match running up to him, get his autograph. I think that's something that's missing in today's era, is the guys who are willing to give autographs right before they perform. I don't know how safe it would be, but I still prefer it. Kabuki, though, goes to the top rope and uses again that strike, but it's not really enough, as there's a mini comeback by Parsons, who hits a headbutt, which his headbutts always look good. We see a shot to the midsection, and then we see a running knee lift. Running knee lift, popular at the time. Georgia uses it. Various other places use it. And used correctly, I still think a knee lift could be a viable hold. But an up and over the back, followed by a drop kick by Parsons with the butt, and the victory. He is excited, jazzed, and ready to go at the end of the program, and he's bragging about the victory. Kids running up to him to get the autograph, but we will be back with more tomorrow of the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series.